So next we're going to jump into how to develop a flowchart for your application. In basic terms, this is just how your application flows. So you start with a landing page and you go to a sign up page, and maybe you hit a paywall, maybe you just join a free account, and all the steps associated with that. And in one SaaS application, you can actually build multiple flowcharts. One maybe for the user experience when they sign up, maybe you have like a walkthrough guide. There's a ton of applications for this, but it's a really good way to kind of get your idea down on paper and the exact step and process that a user would go through in your application. So for this, we're going to use Figma. Go ahead and just go to figma.com and you can set up a free account. So once you create a Figma account, you'll land here in this Figma dashboard. So we're actually going to be using these FigJam board templates. They have a bunch of templates right here too, like ideation templates, mind maps, but we're going to go ahead and start building our flowchart just by clicking and creating a new project. So right here on the left, you'll be able to see, brainstorming templates, agenda, flowchart, bug bash. There's a whole bunch here for you to use. Obviously, we're going to jump into flowchart. So this will give you kind of a basic idea. Now you can set up the databases in the backend and do all that stuff in here as well, which I highly recommend to do. But in this example, we're just going to build out a basic flowchart. So right now we're going to start with, where does a user start? And most likely it'll be like your website. So they start on your website. Outcome number 1 is they sign up. Outcome number 2 is they sign in, right? Let's go ahead and delete this here. And you know what? We'll create a new block for the actual application itself. So we'll go ahead and make this a little bit bigger, but we'll call this the dashboard page. So once they log in, we can go ahead and, clicking on that. We can go ahead and make this a little bit larger. So this is going to be the dashboard page of the application. And so if they sign in, they land here. And if they sign up, maybe they land here, or maybe you want to create something new and be like, okay, let's use a different shape. We'll make this, we'll go ahead and make this paywall, right? So now they have to pay before they can access the dashboard. But in our case for Study Genie, we're not doing that. They will upgrade. They'll get started with a free account. So once they sign up, they'll have a free account in the dashboard. So they can use the application, and then they can upgrade within the dashboard. So now you can start breaking down, okay, so what are the different pages in the application? So we can actually just copy this, duplicate this. So, maybe we've got a settings page. Maybe we have a profile page, right? We've got an upgrade page, upgrade your plan. We have maybe a Stripe paywall, which we can add that in as well. So let's make that a different color. And then we have Stripe. So, and then for example, for Study Genie, obviously on the dashboard page, if you look at the template, you can access all of the tools from there. So maybe we'll create, a new shape to kind of run through. Ooh. Let's go ahead and make this smaller, actually. So maybe we have, I changed that shape there. We'll go back and make that a square. Let's go ahead and add let's do this. So this would be like, essay writer, right? Here, maybe there's another tool that we want to use. So we'll just call this tool 2. Maybe create another one down here, tool 3. And so you can actually simply just connect these just to have a display. So if you're on the dashboard page, you can use the essay writer, you can use tool 2, you can also use tool 3. You can also access your settings pages from the dashboard. So we'll link all those together, your profile page. Maybe you have to go to your profile page first to even access the settings. So in that example, we could go ahead and break this link here. Go ahead and break this link. So maybe you have to go from dashboard to profile page. Then within the profile page, you can access your settings. So we'll go ahead and we'll keep it red just for the consistency. So like different tools or functionality within certain pages. So profile page to access your settings. And then maybe in settings, you upgrade your plan. So we can go ahead and change that color. So maybe we make that orange. And then within settings, you can actually upgrade your plan. We'll go ahead and do that here. And then once you upgrade your plan, you go to Stripe. So this is a very basic example of like how you could create a flow chart, and you could really build upon this. Like I could go in and be like, okay, let's add a sticky note here that discuss what can you change in your settings, maybe like your name, your email, your password, maybe, create a new tool, whatever it might be, and this will change for your applications entirely, right? And then maybe like you could build one out for all your pages. So now you can kind of keep note on them like, okay, hey, we completed the dashboard page, we completed the profile page, the settings page. We got Stripe integrated, we've got this tool done, this tool done. There's a lot that you can do here. And I highly recommend building out flowcharts and continuing to build them out throughout your application because a lot of things change. You may want to change the flow. You may want to see how changing a certain thing affects, the overall application. And this is a really easy way to be able to visualize, how your application works. You can also, talk about more of the back end and like the databases, right? So you could create one kind of looks like a database and be like, hey, here's a database. Maybe you're using AI and you want to create one that's, OpenAI API, right? There's a lot of different things that you can do here. You could really get sophisticated on, the back end, the flow. You could create, a welcome flow. So when a user signs up for the first time, maybe they have a little slideshow or something that displays how to use your application, or one of those walkthrough guides where, you click on this and then it kind of displays what that does. There's a lot of different use cases to building out these flow charts, but it's really, really important that you have this and you can really take a step back and, broad, big picture overview of your application and what you're trying to build. So I highly recommend doing this. And then going in and building out your wireframe, which is going to be a little bit more detailed than this, but it's going to be all the visual aspects of your site, which we'll jump into here in the next lesson.